bit too, which gives Jones more time to adjust to the football. But that's a big hit from Cam Santee, who's becoming the vocal leader of this defense too.
Colgate in third down for the first time today. Sterney hit again, lofts it up, nearly intercepted. Off the fingertips of Caden Newsome, and the pressure got home again. Colgate has to punt.
Yeah, this time it's the cornerback from Rome, Georgia. Eli Thompson comes on the blitz, and now Thompson's going low, but watch, Sterney feels him coming, and he throws it, and he twists his hip a little bit because he's anticipating getting hit. That's the defensive pressure, forcing the quarterback to throw it a lot earlier than he'd like and to be looking at the rush instead of the wide receiver.
Colgate was picking up those blitzes on the first drive. Now Holy Cross is getting to the quarterback. Big momentum shift in a 7-all game. Fontenot hit as he kicked. No flag in the backfield. They're saying the kick was deflected, so no running into the kicker. It's only a 20-yard kick as Holy Cross got there again to disrupt Colgate.
This is so impressive to get to this because they got some big boys blocking this.
And earlier this week, I talked to Christian Ross, a senior captain on this Holy Cross team, about the defense specifically. He said that's what we've been practicing all year long. It's not just us on the defensive line, it's also the secondary, and you saw it on that last drive there, guys. They are formidable. They want to be extremely physical and win the toughness battle, and they're doing so far in this game today.
All right, thanks, Alex. No doubt about that. Holy Cross gets off the field for the first time on third down, deflects a punt, and sets up Braden Graham in the offense near midfield with a little momentum for the first time today.
Yeah, this is, when you have confidence and you have momentum, now everyone starts to maybe hit a little bit harder. You start to run a little bit more with confidence, even throwing the ball. Braden Graham, couple completions, and he hit an explosive, different game.
Shut it down, flag before the snap.
False start, offense, number 3, 5-yard penalty, first down.
That's Ty Curran.
He's not going to get dessert when he goes home tonight.
Especially when his dad's the head coach.
With his dad, he's going to say no dessert for you.
Coaches really don't like false starts by boundary players.
No, they don't.
First down and 15. This hasn't been a problem today for Jaden Clairvaux out of the backfield on first down. He's got the give left side this time, shuffles his feet, and picks up about 7 yards. He has looked so much more confident, and a lot of that, Kev, has to do with the offensive line getting healthier after the bye week 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, you're exactly right. The offensive line gives him a great hole at the point of attack right here. They're just running that counter, but it's where the power would be in the C-gap. He's got the window. He can explode through it. He doesn't get touched till the second level, and he's always going to go forward on contact. Jaden Clairvaux is a guy who's going to get you 2 or 3 extra yards on contact.
Especially following big Brad Blattner at left tackle. He goes that way again. Plenty of room around the edge. Bulldozes his way for the first down to the 30-yard line in Colgate territory. Clairvaux having a day.
Oh, man. You talk about wanting to get some hazard pay. If you're a defensive back and you have to come up and take Jaden Clairvaux on with a head of steam, wow.
Tymere Wynn. Wow, there's a dent in his gear.
That's the stuff of nightmares.
Holy Cross has never looked this confident at home offensively this season. Fun for the home fans at Fitton.
Fun for the offensive line, too. They love when the running game's going and you just keep calling running plays and putting it on their back.
Clairvaux in the backfield again. He's already got 44 yards. This time Graham flings it sideline, and Mosey is wrapped up behind the line. Great tackle in space by Zach Jones, the sophomore.
Yeah, that time play action. They're hoping to get the Colgate defense coming forward on the snap and thinking that they're going to get Clairvaux, and then this time Graham has to throw it out, and that ball is in the air for a long time when you got to throw it across the field like that. Good job closing by the Colgate defense and Zach Jones, the outside linebacker.
Colgate defensive coordinator Trevor Warner is going to love that. Coached with Holy Cross offensive coordinator Andrew Dresner at Stony Brook in 2023. Patient run out of the backfield and some space down the sideline for Pooney. Pushed out of bounds by Tymere Wynn. Move the sticks for Holy Cross back in the red zone.
Yeah, Naoti Pooney came to Holy Cross to run track, and he really missed football and walked on the football team after his freshman year, and boy, has he been excellent so far this season. With each game, he gets more confident, wants to run like Derrick Henry and Eric Dickerson. Those are the two guys that he likes to emulate. He is a big back with speed.
May not be as big as Derrick Henry, but he's imposing his will. 15 minutes gone here in Worcester. We've got a good one brewing. Holy Cross and Colgate tied up at 7 apiece. Follow the Patriot League on Instagram, X, YouTube, and LinkedIn, all under the handle @Patriot League. And follow the league on TikTok @Patriot League TV. Second red zone trip today for Holy Cross, 7-7 tie with Colgate as we get set for the second quarter. I'm Kevin Gale with Kevin Shea. Holy Cross's offense playing with tempo and rhythm, stronger here at home than at any point this season. And the sophomore Braden Graham looks so good at quarterback, especially with his backfield mates like Nyoti Pooney lined up here on 1st down and 10. Graham shifts Pooney. Handoff. Nyoti Pooney patiently following his blockers, and look at Holy Cross move that pile. A no gain turns into 2, and that matters in the red zone, Kev.
Yeah, it certainly does. And this is that offensive line just getting the push, and then Pooney, a big, strong back. When he gets contact, just keeping his legs going, pumping those knees and driving forward for a couple yards. And again, just even if the run isn't tremendously effective right down there, what you're hoping to do is then now if you're able to run play action, that it holds the linebackers and it opens up the pass game a little bit.
18th offensive play of this game for Holy Cross. They've picked up 6 first downs, highly efficient. Curran in motion, pre-snap, throw, slant, catch, touchdown! Lincoln Fisher, his second career grab in the end zone for a touchdown.
Well, this is a perfect call. And the reason Holy Cross is running the motion here is it's man-to-man defense. So the motion man comes across the formation and brings the defender with him. Lincoln Fisher's out there one-on-one with a cornerback. There is no support inside because the safeties are all in man coverage. It's cleared out. Fisher using that big body, gets inside leverage. Graham throws a pretty ball.
And that's an unforgettable moment for Braden Graham. His first career touchdown throw. The extra point bullets through. 14-7 for Holy Cross. Another long, methodical, efficient drive for Holy Cross. Twice they have cashed in from deep.
See, Ty Curran coming across the formation in motion. You see the defender going with him, and then Lincoln Fisher, the freshman, just getting more and more reps with each week. They trust this kid, Fisher. He's going to be a big play wide receiver for years to come for Holy Cross. He had an older brother that played for Dan Curran at Merrimack, and he said that was part of the reason he came was his older brother said, I had a great experience with Coach Curran. You will too. It also helps too that Lincoln's high school coach was a Holy Cross alum, and he was pushing the Crusaders as well.
And Lincoln may have pushed the best highlight of the season onto the end of season highlight reel. A lot of people didn't notice it was at the end of that Harvard blowout loss here at home. He made an incredible diving catch in that same end zone for his first collegiate touchdown, and the future is bright for this kid from Upper Marlboro, Maryland. There's a little buzz here at Fitton Field today. Crowd's liking this one. Holy Cross looks looser, lighter, bouncing around on the sideline, trying to make it 2 wins in a row. I don't know what Dan Curran did during that bye week, but this looks like a whole new team. Colgate on the return. It's Jariah Sawyer, from Tampa, Florida. Minimal gain, and Colgate will have to answer after a 3-and-out. Exceptional first drive by Sterney at quarterback. Holy Cross's defense stood tall, got a blocked punt, and now Colgate has to respond, trailing in this game for the first time.
Yeah, and again, now we're going to see a little bit more of the chess match, right, between the defensive coordinator, Brian Viganic, for Holy Cross, and the offensive coordinator and head coach for Colgate, Kurt Fitzpatrick, because, you know, the first drive, Colgate won it. The second drive, Holy Cross won it, and they brought a lot of pressure and got to Sterney. So see if Colgate starts to throw some quick screens, some tunnel screens, slip screens, trying to use that Holy Cross aggressiveness on defense against them.
Sterney on first down. Opts for Marco Maldonado. Bull rushes his way forward for 11 yards on first down. Nice pickup.
That's a weight room run right there from Maldonado. That's why you do all the squats in the offseason. Good patience. He waits for the crease, finds it, and then he just keeps going forward. He's got some O-linemen behind him too. He's just riding a wave like a surfer with those big old linemen pushing him.
It took everyone from Holy Cross's defense. Finally, Chisholm Anzaribo from his weak side safety spot put him down. They marked him short of the line to gain, so 2nd and inches here for Colgate. Play action. Sterney flings it. Good catch along the boundary. Brady Hutchinson for the first.
And that's another move. When you're getting pressure and your quarterback's getting pressured, you roll the pocket, you move the pocket, get him on the move, and that's what they do right here. Sterney off a play action, he's going to roll out. Just get him a little bit further away from that pressure and that pass rush. And you see how accurate he is too, especially a right-handed quarterback going to his left. You got to set your shoulders in order to throw accurately.
Sterney's been accurate in this game, 6 for 8 through the air. He's got 51 yards. 1st and 10. Similar look out of the backfield. It's Casamajor. Keeps his legs moving for 7. Chisholm Anzaribo with the stop.
Yeah, and this is, again, it's these quick hitters now, because the last time they were getting pressured, so now they're looking to do much more of those quick passes and moving the pocket.
Offensive coordinator Joe Gerbino specifically pointed out Casamajor to us this week. He said, expect him in the mix, valuable experience inside and outside the box. You saw it there, getting to the outside.
He's 222. He's a tough guy to bring down.
Quick for his size. 2nd and short, Sterney working the hard count. Maldonado, he's got another first down.
So now we're seeing the Colgate that we saw from that very first drive, where they're playing with rhythm, with timing. They're getting positive yards on first down, opening up the playbook a little bit. You got a lot more that you can call in the menu. That's a good lead block right there as well from Casamajor.
Kurt Fitzpatrick told us earlier this week, you can't order everything on the menu at once. You use each drive to set up the next. Think of it like breakfast, lunch, dinner, then you can have your dessert.
It was a great analogy.
I love a food metaphor. Look at the pressure off the edge. A strip sack recovered by Colgate. What a rush by Adam Dew. Holy cow.
Yeah, Adam Dew just came here. He timed this blitz up perfectly. And again, you see what a disruptive force Adam Dew has turned into. Look at him coming off the edge. And not only just to get there, but to get there and knock the ball out. Second forced fumble by Dew in as many weeks. He's got a couple block kicks. He's a guy that just makes plays. He's a playmaker.
Blocked that punt at Richmond last week to go along with that forced fumble. Adam Dew has been due for a while. Defensive coordinators loving what he's doing. Look at Sterney step up in the pocket on 2nd and long, using his legs to escape, and he's inside the Holy Cross 40. Eli Thompson got him down, and you saw there Sterney good with his legs, maybe not the dual threat strategy of Zach Osborne, but good escapability.
He's effective. He is effective with his legs when he needs to be. He steps up in the pocket, good pocket presence, knowing when to tuck it, tucks it quickly, picks up a good chunk of change for Colgate.
Colgate over on 3rd down today. Holy Cross has risen to the occasion defensively. They've struggled on 3rd down this season. On 3rd down and 3. Fake the give. Sterney, quick feed. 1st down and more. Brendan Casamajor inside the 30. Crowley with the tackle. Move the sticks for Colgate.
Yeah, just a sprint out pass. And Sterney hitting Casamajor. You give it to your big back. See here, the play action, sprint out. Hits him quickly in the flat. Makes one move. Makes a man miss. Picks up the 1st down.
Clock is really rolling here in the first half. Less than 10 minutes to go before the break. Both teams have executed long drives. Sterney's turn at the Holy Cross 30. 1st down and 10 for Colgate. Trailing by 7. Here's the pressure off the edge. Colgate picks it up. Fluttering pass to the end zone. Nearly intercepted. Just one step too far outside for Garrett Baldwin, who was chasing for Holy Cross.
Yeah, Garrett Baldwin, he's just had a great season for Holy Cross. He is such a tough player. Coming up, one of their leading tacklers. He's about 185 pounds, but he just takes on whoever's in front of him with reckless abandon.
Baldwin, the captain of this defense, Kev, making the calls and checks. The best defenses, though, are the simple ones, and that's what we've seen from Holy Cross this season. When they get locked into a game, they just execute under DC Brian Viganek. They're being taxed here by Colgate on another long drive. Good patience there by Marco Maldonado. Part of the game plan under head coach Kurt Fitzpatrick had an explosive catch play against Richmond earlier this season. Always a threat to break one. Holy Cross had him bottled up to force third down.
This is a big down because, head coach for Colgate, Kurt Fitzpatrick, he likes to go for it on fourth down, he told us. So if they're able to get some yards here, I would think he would go for it. If Holy Cross can stop him here, then you got a decision to make at the 29-yard line.
Third down and long. Colgate 1 for 2 on third down. Lots of motion. That's a false start.
False start. Offense. Number 74. 5-yard penalty. Third down.
That's the backup left tackle, Will Marshall. And the job gets a little bit tougher for Jake Sterney and Colgate.
Yeah, it certainly does. That's those self-inflicted wounds that coaches all talk about. Anytime we talk to coaches before a game, they always say, we can't hurt ourselves. We can't hurt ourselves. We can't get behind the sticks.
Colgate facing 3rd and 14. Sterney, pump fakes. Now fires. What a grab over the middle. Max Walters for a first down at the 15.
This is a courage grab by Max Walters because he's running into the teeth of the defense, knows the safety's closing on him, and he has to reach his hands up, exposing his ribs, and he comes down with it. As a wide receiver, that ball probably seemed to hang in the air forever. That is a courage grab.
Wow, Sterney split the coverage. Walters absorbed the hit, and Colgate takes up residence in the red zone, trailing by 7, less than 8 minutes to go before half. Shaben in the backfield with Sterney. Dancing around him. It is Shaben, the Connecticut kid. Keeps his legs churning for 3.
Yeah, Dew lost his helmet. Good job by Shaben with some yards after contact. Adam Dew met him right there at the point of attack. Great job by Dew. Just to read that play and to explode into the point of attack because that was a hole and it closed quickly with Adam Dew.
Dew has to come off the field for one play after losing his helmet. Costly loss for Holy Cross. He's been the best defensive player on the field today.
He's their best cover linebacker, too, according to Brian Viganic.
Sterney out of the gun again on 2nd and medium. Fires. Dropped in the end zone. That was surely going to be 6 for Max Walters.
Wow, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. That's one that you just mentally, you got to shake it off. You got to have that relief pitcher mentality. You give up a home run, you just shake it off because there's just no one there. Maybe he had too much time and space there, Walters, to think about it. The safety had slipped.
Walters bobbles what would have been his 2nd touchdown grab of the season. Now Colgate faces 3rd down and 6. Sterney in trouble, has to escape, and he's short of the line to gain. Rushed out of bounds by Garrett Baldwin from his free safety spot, and this brings up a decision for Colgate. Kurt Fitzpatrick likes to go on 4th down. He's Dan Campbell-esque.
He is. You called him that on our call with him. He's going to send the kicking unit out. That time, Sterney was looking for a quick hitter to Brady Hutchinson. Cam Jones had him blanketed. He cut it right off. He had to pull the ball down and run it.
So he opts to take the 3 in what's turned into an offensive shootout. Luke Vogler from 24 yards. Tough angle. And missed it. The conservative call by Kurt Fitzpatrick does not pay off. 4th field goal miss by Luke Vogler this season, and Holy Cross keeps its touchdown lead here at home. 6:28 to go in the 2nd quarter.
Operations to Brewster, ambulance 155, Brewster paramedic 57 and FS1. Please respond to 185 Main Street for possible rollover. You're reporting car on a through person not breathing with entrapment.
all the hard days and all the scary stuff.
Through all the tears and moments.
We'll always have our team behind us.
Team Impact places kids with serious illness and disabilities on college sports teams.
With athletes who support and inspire us.
While we do the same for them.
1, 2, 3.
All in, all together. Team Impact, all in, all together.
Well, it looked like a big drive for Colgate, but they were just not able to convert on that last one. And it's largely due in part to Trayvon Saunders, their star wideout, who got hurt 2 weeks ago, sustained a lower leg injury that leaves him out indefinitely. Head coach Kurt Fitzpatrick said, you just cannot replace what Trayvon does on the field. But he said that all week long his team is saying, we got to do this for Trey. He couldn't be more proud of how the team has responded. And Trey shares that same sentiment, guys. He's here. He actually couldn't be closer to end the game. He's sitting so close on the sideline. He wanted to be here for his team today, and he's shown that. That's what's going on here for Colgate.
All right, Alex, thanks so much. Jaden Clairvaux gets the first carry for Holy Cross after that missed field goal for Colgate. Saunders has been such an emotional figure for Colgate. He committed to the program, had opportunities to hop in the portal, play FBS football, but goes down in the record books with the record for most catches in Colgate history. And he could be the first Colgate draftee into the NFL since Kenny Gamble back in 1988.
There we go. Kenny Gamble, Mark Van Egan, some of the great names in Colgate football history. Dave Brunell, one of the great linebackers.
Spinning run through the hole by Nayoti Puni, minimal gain. Gamble, a Massachusetts native, college football Hall of Famer. He was drafted by the Kansas City Chiefs. And we have an injured player down for Holy Cross. The Crusaders cannot afford any more injuries along the offensive line. That's the junior center, Sean Woods.
Yeah, Woods he's been dinged up the last couple weeks. But this is, it's a big injury when you're talking about a center too, because that's who makes the line calls.
Head coach Dan Curran out there to take a look. He talked extensively about offensive line play on our call earlier this week. It's really tough for a program to replace 8 all-league caliber offensive linemen over the course of 2 seasons, and now he's attending to Sean Woods as we step aside. Further than clean restroom rentals. They have a wide range of units from a standard porta potty to a high-end luxury trailer that fits all your needs. Visit cleanrestrooms.com to reserve your portable restroom today. Sean Woods just left the field at center for Holy Cross. Crusaders have to fill that gap in the middle of the offensive line, leading 14-7 over Colgate with 5:39 to go in the second quarter. I'm Kevin Gale with Kevin Shea. Holy Cross showing some confidence offensively here at home for the first time this season, and it's all because of the sophomore at quarterback, Braden Graham. 5 of 7 through the air with his first touchdown pass earlier in this quarter. Hits the slant over the middle, thrown down, Max Mosey. Good pursuit on the play by Zach Jones, who's been everywhere on this field at outside linebacker.
And this starts with the new center, right? Liam Lynch, the sophomore, he's a guard. He shifts over to center, and he's got to make that good snap. He does make that clean snap. They throw underneath. They did protect Graham well, but that was just good defense from Colgate to force this punt.
4th and short. Holy Cross backed up deep. Has to kick it away with Ethan Moss. We'll keep an eye on Liam Lynch. Now at center for Holy Cross. Didn't even play last year. Gives you an idea of how deep Holy Cross has had to dig to find healthy offensive line play. Colgate's going to carry it back into Holy Cross territory. Short return sets up Jake Sterney in prime position after that missed field goal drive. Brady Hutchison with a gain of about 16 on the return.
You know, Kurt Fitzpatrick told us that he just fell in love with football as a young kid. He would draw plays in his basement, and he would run them himself in the basement. Well, now when you're starting inside your opponent's territory, you got that menu becomes huge. It's not the dessert or the lunch menu. It is the whole menu, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You got a lot of options right now.
Must have had a big basement because this team's been throwing the ball a lot this year. 5 games north of 300 passing yards. On first down, it's a run play. That got gummed up in the backfield. Good push by Holy Cross along the line, and that limited the options for Marco Maldonado.
Yeah, Joseph Townsend, a 5th-year defensive end. He kind of collapsed the whole line down. Lathan Crowley, the linebacker, one of the fastest linebackers and defenders on this team. You can see him taking on that tackle and blowing up the point of attack. Great job from Lathan Crowley, and then Christian Ross, too. Your steady guy. Ross has been such a hard worker through his whole time here at Holy Cross. He's a captain.
Maldonado splits out this time on 2nd and long. Quick trigger over the middle. Another grab by Brady Hutchison. That'll bring up 3rd down and manageable for Colgate. Lathan Crowley on the tackle.
Well, you see, too, just how quickly Sterney can get the ball off, because Holy Cross was blitzing. The blitzer was coming free, untouched. But Sterney gets that ball off so quick. Usually, Holy Cross coach is saying it's about like 2.4 seconds, and he gets the ball out. So even if you do come in untouched, it's really difficult to get a hand on him before he releases the ball.
Holy Cross's defense has had to be quick today. A little too quick that time. Nearly drawn off sides.
See if they change it. They were coming. Crissetti and Tommy Bestpitch were both coming on that one.
And Kirk Fitzpatrick doesn't like the look. Calls timeout for Colgate. Let's step aside. 3:13 to go in the second. Great one here between Holy Cross and Colgate. Crusaders up 7.
Operations to Brewster Ambulance 155, Brewster Paramedic 57 and FS1. Please respond to 185 Main Street for possible rollover. You're reporting car runners through person not breathing with entrapment.
heart of the Commonwealth.
Out of the Colgate timeout, trailing by 7 here at Holy Cross. 3rd down and 3 upcoming with a little more than 3 minutes to go in the second quarter. Great pace to this game. Offenses have been moving up and down the field, but Holy Cross's defense has tightened here in the second against Jake Sterney and the Colgate offense.
Yeah, Reed Swanson, the 6'6" receivers at the top of the screen for Colgate. Keep an eye on him.
3rd and short for the Raiders. Handoff. Crusaders had it red, but the Red Sea parts. 1st down Colgate. Look at the move downfield by Danny Shaben carrying 4 tacklers. Impressive stuff from the Joel Barlow High School alum.
That is a physical run from a physical football player. He just gets a little crease up there, and then he's lowering his shoulder. He's dishing out the punishment, but he keeps his feet going. Guys are trying to rip the football away from him. He does a nice job to keep that football tucked high and tight and keep his legs pumping.
That's how he helped win a state title in Connecticut. Fringe red zone here for Colgate, down a score. Sterney off the high snap, rolls the pocket, dumps it down. Cass, a major upended by Adam Dew.
Yeah, it's great coverage from Dew, but it's great patience from Sterney too, because that was his 3rd look. He looks, his primary receiver is covered, secondary receiver is covered. He's going through his progressions. He looks down for his check down, hits the check down, and picks up positive yards. Picks up 5 yards on something that could have been a throwaway.
Holy Cross has really dialed up the pressure on Sterney. Christian Ross was in his face that time, and we hit the 2-minute timeout. Colgate driving, down a touchdown. Stay with us late in the second quarter. Just 2 minutes left in the second quarter. Holy Cross's defense has struggled in the red zone this season, but already a stop today, a missed field goal from Colgate from 24 yards out. Kev, how's that going to shift what Colgate looks at here?
They're looking at this as 4-down territory, so you're not looking necessarily as 2nd and 5, and we got to get 5 in the next, 2 downs. You got 3 downs to get 5 yards. So I think they could take a shot at the end zone here on 2nd and 5.
They shift the protection. Big Dave Thompson now on the left side. Handoff. Goes the opposite way to Shaban, who bounces to the edge, and he's wrestled out of bounds by Cam Jones. Looked like short of the first down.
This is good vision from Shaban, though, to bounce it outside. These Colgate running backs are tough. The Holy Cross running backs and the Colgate running backs are very similar in the sense that they all welcome contact, and more often than not, they initiate contact with the defense.
Pivotal third down play coming up here. Colgate at the Holy Cross 12. 2 backs in there. Sterney trying to draw Holy Cross off. Goes to Shaban again. Met in the hole and driven back. Holy Cross gets the stop. Ball popped loose late. It is ruled a fumble, recovered by Colgate. Loss of yards. That brings up 4th down and long.
Wow, that changes things dramatically. Look at this collision at the point of attack. I think it's Cam Santee. He is, Brian Vaganic, defensive coordinator, said about Santee, his movements are so sudden and explosive. And you see it right there. That is a tough kid from Avon, Ohio, who, as we mentioned, he's becoming more and more of a vocal leader for this team. He broke the team down for practice on Thursday. Not something he would normally do. But look at him fill the hole and hit with authority. That's hitting through the ball carrier. It's not just getting there and catching the running back, but it's going through the running back. That's the old board drill.
That's it. And guess who else was there? Adam Dew, his 2nd tackle for loss today. An incredible performance by this Holy Cross defense. They have been tested throughout the season as Holy Cross was trying to get its offense tuned up. Couldn't stay out there, couldn't give the defense a rest. We saw that against Harvard here last time at home. Today, long offensive drives have given them a breather, and they have responded, bringing pressure into the backfield on Jake Sterney. And now Colgate has to settle for a field goal attempt on back-to-back red zone drives. Vogler missed from 24. This time he'll try from 34. High snap, corralled. Kick is up, and good. Colgate doesn't go empty this time. 14-10 game with 1:29 to go before half, and Holy Cross is going to get the ball back.
Here's another look at that. The snap a little high, good hold. And this time the kick is true, and you just think of the mental toughness. That's Carson Wilkie, the holder, who did a nice job with that. But the mental toughness of the kickers, right? Because you have one that you miss, and then Luke Vogler says, all right, line me up again. I'm confident. I'll put it through, and he does. And you see, he had a strong leg, too. That was a blast of a kick. But if you're Kurt Fitzpatrick, you're happy with the fact that you got points. You wanted 7, but you got points. It's a 1-score game, and you got a little momentum. You're going to rely on your defense here. If you're Holy Cross, again, they're so confident in their return game. They feel like they can pop one every single time on the kick return. If they get good field position, they could get some points here going into the half. They still have all their timeouts.
Vogler's got a booming leg. He's going to try to drive this into the end zone and prevent that run back. Angles it to the pylon. Tried this on the opening kickoff and fails again. Another procedure penalty. Holy Cross takes the ball at the 35, and you can't do that trying to defend with just 1:29 to go.
Ball placed at the 35-yard line. First down, Holy Cross.
And what that is, that's a tip of the hat to the return game for Holy Cross. They lead the league in kickoff returns and punt return yardage. And Elijah Kaysen, they're trying to kick away from Elijah Kaysen. They want to prevent him from being able to return the football. Everyone's seen what he can do this season. And so that's what the result is. You get a little bit, miss it a little bit like a wedge shot, and it knocks out of bounds. And now Holy Cross has tremendous field position to start this with $1:29 to play in the half and all 3 timeouts.
Looking like the offenses of old, averaging 6 yards per play today. Nothing there on first down. Good pursuit in the backfield by Colgate.
Yeah, they were coming. Colgate was blitzing. They were coming on this one.
Trooper Price had the dance dialed up too.
They were sending the linebacker, Piccarello, and Joe Kelly, big Joe Kelly up front too for Colgate. His brother Christo Kelly played here at Holy Cross, former captain in the center.
5 wide, quick trigger, caught by Mosey. He's been the safety blanket today for Graham. Hit at the 40, clock continues to move. Reese Allen with the stop.
Yeah, I think they're going to let this thing run until they can get a first down. If they get a first down, then they'll use one of their timeouts.
JoJo Williams was lined up at the boundary, now in the backfield. Good run, pass, catch. Incomplete. That was behind Ty Curran all the way. And with 37 seconds left before the break, Colgate is going to get the ball back. That is not the time-consuming drive that Holy Cross needed.
No, and what you're going to do right now is you're going to say to Ethan Moss, your punter, hey, you got to flip the field. You got to pin them deep. So it's not only getting off a strong kick, but it's where you're angling this kick. You don't want a return right here. You want to pin Colgate deep and not give them that hope that, all right, we can go for it here. We got good field position.
Moss pinned Richmond deep late in last week's win on the road. First ever trip for Holy Cross down to face Richmond as a Patriot League foe. Moss on the move, drives it right into the waiting arms of Brady Hutchison, who got tossed back. Great kick coverage there by Holy Cross. Caden Newsom, the reserve corner downfield. Punt of 36 yards, and Colgate's got 30 seconds to work with here, down 4.
You know, they had open tryouts this week in practice for gunners, the guys on the outside on the punt that just go flying down the field and try to get there and make that kind of hit. They said if you want to, you can try out. They had about 6 or 8 guys that volunteered to try out for it. Caden Newsom, one of the guys that won a spot, and you can see why. That was perfect timing and a great job by Newsom to get free of the block and be able to sprint down there and in full stride hit the return man.
This is complimentary football for Holy Cross. Offense, defense, special teams, best we've seen across the board this season.
And now it'll be interesting to see what Coach Fitzpatrick does. I would guess you're going to run the ball here on first down, but see how aggressive he gets.
Maldonado gets the handoff. Bellied up by Cam Jones in the hole.
You know, when Cam Jones, he's such a good cover guy that a lot of times he's very underrated as a tackler. He's a very good tackler. Last week against Richmond, their quarterback was 260 pounds. Cam Jones was hitting him and tackling him all game long. At 190 pounds, he's one of the biggest defensive backs they have, and he is not afraid to stick his nose in against anyone.
Round of applause from the Holy Cross faithful, liking what they see here at Fitton Field on a crisp fall Saturday. 2 long scoring drives in the first half, both for touchdowns. Holy Cross with a 14-10 lead over Colgate. Kev, what did you like best about Braden Graham, the sophomore quarterback, here in the first half?
Just the poise, the way he ran the offense. He was poised, he was not frazzled, unflappable, and that feeds and that filtrates through the whole offense. He did a nice job of just running the offense.
Let's hear from his head coach, Dan Curran, with Alex DeCapua.
Coach, earlier this week you said if you didn't know any better, you'd think these guys are 7-0 playing for the Super Bowl. What are you liking about the effort you're seeing from your team?
Well, they came out ready to go. Give Colgate credit. They put a really good drive at the end of the first one, but I think our defense has settled in. Obviously held them to a field goal in one, ended up missing a field goal in another. Offense, we got a little bit of rhythm. Hopefully got to retool this thing, get ready to go for the second half.
That's all we need to hear. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you. Yep. Take care.
All right, Alex, thanks so much. A smile on the face of Dan Curran trying to rattle off back-to-back wins for the first time this season. Let's step aside. It's halftime here in Worcester. Holy Cross 14, Colgate 10. full circle moments having a son back on the team and being back at Holy Cross. I know you won't be able to share in the induction ceremony here in Worcester, but what will October 25th, what will this Hall of Fame selection really mean to you and your family who are now so closely tied to Holy Cross and a family that also really values the student athlete experience?
Will be a very emotional, accepting the award and accepting the honor of getting into the Hall of Fame. Again, I'm humbled. I'm very grateful, and I'm certainly honored by it. I've gotten to be a little bit more comfortable with it. Again, a lot of my teammates wanting to share in that, and guys I played with, older, younger, and they're certainly looking forward to getting back together again, and some type of celebrations in the near future there. But yeah, it's just again, I don't look at it so much as all about me. It's really all about everybody getting together and celebrating Holy Cross and the football program in particular. And what a special place Holy Cross is academically and socially, and just helps people grow up and mature and face the world, and nurture us along the way in our adulthood through these relationships. And it's always there, and it's always prospering, giving opportunities for legacy relationships like our son Jack, and so many, as I demonstrated with our my classmates who had children that went there, and there's many others. But yeah, that's the special part, is just being able to gather and just share stories and memories of back in the day, and then talking about current Holy Cross teams and where the program's going, and then certainly everything else in between. So it'll be a lot of fun, and it's good to kind of keep the engine going, and it's just another way to keep everybody united and bonded.
as when you learned you were an All-American back in 1985. How did your coach, Rick Carter, react to that news?
Yeah, Kevin, I wouldn't forget it. It's like it's still pretty fresh in my mind. I was walking out of the field house, which is no longer there, where all the coaches' offices were, and I was walking out, and he was getting out of his Reliant K car, coach's car at the time, and he was holding his hand up with a 1 and jumping up and down and first team, and I had no idea what he was talking about. And turns out he was holding the paper from Football News, and yeah, 1AA All American. It was quite an honor. I to this moment remember that, and yeah, it was a neat moment. Yeah.
Teammates, your coaches, led by Rick Carter, really put Holy Cross football on the map. You look back and see the type of recruiting that Holy Cross started to do. Late 80s, 90s, the names, some of the all-time greats that come through the program right after you and your teammates really set the whole program up for success. How do you feel that legacy from the early 80s carries on today, especially with all the conference titles that followed?
Yeah, it was certainly very exciting times for Holy Cross, and thinking about it, I'm in my early adulthood, and when all that's going on, right, and trying to make my way in Chicago and start a family and everything. So I frankly, had lost track, but all of this is just kind of bringing it all back, and the success that Coach Duffner had, there was no denying it, and he was a defensive coordinator when I was there, and another just absolutely terrific guy and a legendary coach in the NFL. He just retired this past year. I spoke with him, on many occasions over the years, and I was just so happy for him. And then, just some of the players that came out and their success, and hearing a lot about them. It was truly inspiring. I don't know what part I had in it other than just, getting lucky and being on a great team.
back to Worcester with highlights and stats right after this. Getting set for the third quarter here at Holy Cross. Crusaders at home leading 14-10 over Colgate. I'm Kevin Gale with Kevin Shea. Let's look back at a very clean first half of football. Both teams averaging better than 5 yards per play offensively. No turnovers in the first half and great quarterback play starting with Jake Sterney for Colgate.
Yeah, it's making the right reads. When to hand the ball off, when to throw the ball. He's making the right calls. He's getting protection. And then Braden Graham making just his second start. He's had some good protection from that Holy Cross line. Dom Campanelli, the new weapon, the freshman, powering it in.
Think of him like Jerome Bettis on the goal line when you need somebody to stuff it in. Holy Cross's defense has taken a big step in this game. Gave up a 10-play, 69-yard scoring drive to Colgate to start off the contest and then really rallied to hand the ball back to the offense time and again.
Yeah, there's Adam Dew forcing the fumble. Holy Cross forced a couple fumbles in the first half. Didn't recover them, but they forced them. Here's another one where they force a fumble, and that was 3rd and short. They stuffed it at the point of attack. This Holy Cross defense is playing with a little swagger today, and they are bringing the wood when they get to the ball carrier.
Before the second half begins, let's check in downstairs with Alexandra DeCapua.
Guys, coming out of the locker room, head coach Kurt Fitzpatrick said, it was a good clean half of football, but we've got to move the ball a little bit better on offense, especially converting in the red zone. Defensively, he said we had some possessions I didn't really like, but the message to the guys in the locker room was just to finish. He said we've been in a lot of close games this year, so we know we're familiar with this, and we've just got to go out, execute, and make some bigger plays.
All right, Alex, thanks. Similar message from Holy Cross head coach Dan Curran, who said he saw some good things from Braden Graham in the offense in the first half, but wanted to dial some new looks up at halftime. They certainly did that last time here at home against Harvard, where they found some options with Cal Swanson throwing the ball in the second half. Today it's his backup, Braden Graham, who's starting to look more and more like a starter guiding the offense. Colgate receives the second half kickoff. It was fair caught inside the 15. So touchback brings it to, well, it's not a touchback, but you get what I'm saying. They're going to move it to the 25. Yeah, right. There we go. Okay, I'll figure it out. Jake Sterney. Tell me about him, Kev.
I'll tell you what, he's a kid. He's a kid that can lead this offense very well, and you've seen it when they've been playing with rhythm and timing. He has moved the offense very efficiently. Where he's gotten into trouble is when he gets pressured. Now he can't set his feet. Now he can't go through his progressions. When they make him kind of one-dimensional, like, here, we're coming at you and we're going to move you off your spot, and he's looking at the rush a little bit more than the wide receivers, that's when he's not as effective. You saw Colgate later in the half start to roll him out, move the pocket a little bit, see if they still do some more of that, or if they try to reset and say, can we handle Holy Cross's defensive pressure and the blitzing and keep him in the pocket?
Sterney making the most of his opportunities after senior starter Zach Osborne went down earlier this season, hasn't played September 20th, and he's been battling injuries the last 3 seasons. First down carry goes for minimal yards here, with Colgate backed up inside the 15. Sterney has played in all but 1 game this season. That was at Nova week 2. Third-string sophomore Alex Sitkowski threw 5 times last week after Sterney was dinged up in the first half of that loss at Georgetown. He's looked clean. He's looked healthy today. He's over 100 yards passing.
Holy Cross, the front 4 there, those defensive linemen, their first order of business is to stop the run, and they did it right there.
3 down linemen here for Holy Cross. Pressure off the edge again. Spins it. Incomplete. Short of the intended target, Matt Fogler. And now Colgate faces 3rd and long, backed up deep following that deflected pass.
And that was one of the points of emphasis all week long with this Holy Cross defensive line was get a straight line pass rush. And Mike Pucko, the assistant D-line coach, said, get the hands up and deflect the ball. Get some deflections, and they got it right there. Vinny Ferreira, I believe the freshman, Jordan Pritchard-Sewell, getting some penetration and getting his hand up.
Big 3rd down here for Colgate, backed up. Pressure up the middle. Sterney chased. Flag in the backfield. Sterney just throws it away.
Sterney scrambles and passes incomplete out of bounds.
Holy Cross got the rush home again. Carlo Crosetti off the edge. And this is in the area of offensive holding on the flag.
Yeah, their defense is flying right now. They are playing with confidence.
Offense, number 78. That penalty decline. 4th down.
You can see that just a bull rush. Bryce Stevenson, Jordan Pritchard-Sewell, straight bull rush upfield, and then a guy like Lathan Crowley and Carlo Crosetti. You see the speed of those 2 guys and what they do, how they force the quarterback out of the pocket like they're hunting wild game.
Decline the penalty on the freshman center, Matt Purdue. 3 and out. Great start to the second half for Holy Cross's defense. Here's the punt from Tyler Fontenot. Max Mosey back to receive for Holy Cross. Fair catch at the 50-yard line. And the Crusaders take control, leading by 4 here early in the second half.
That punt return is one of the toughest jobs in all of football. You talk about the courage that it takes. But you have to make that split-second decision while the ball's in the air to know, am I going to try to catch this and make a move or fair catch it? Good job by Max Mosey. Gives his team excellent field position. Here's the sure-handed fair catch.
Mosey's been a game breaker in the past. Braden Graham finding more ways to get him the football here today. Graham 7 for 10 through the air, 72 yards and a touchdown pass. On 1st and 10, it's Jaden Clairvaux. Say it like a Cajun, he says. and he rolls forward for 7 yards. He looks like a brand new back today.
Yeah, he does, and it looked like he was stopped after a 3-yard gain, and somehow he comes out of the wash and picks up another 3 or 4 yards. They pull the backside lineman there, and watch Clairvaux. It looked like he's down, and he just keeps going forward, picking up that extra 2 or 3 yards.
Andrew Dresner has said it's all about getting him to the third level of tacklers, and we're starting to see it this afternoon. Clairvaux bounces left side. He's got the first down. Wrapped up near the 40, picked up a few extra yards. Piccarello stopped him on the last 2 plays.
Yeah, this is a group right now, and I say a group of running backs because you got 4 guys that are coming in there, but they are running with swagger. They are running with an attitude. And that's contagious. It's the offensive line now. It's the running backs playing with an attitude and running downhill. They are looking to deliver punishment every single time they have the ball in their hands.
Clairvaux, leading rusher, 10 carries, 58 yards. Time for Graham, and nearly throws a pick. Had the crosser and Max Mosey, waited a split second too long, and that was nearly a gift to Trooper Price, the linebacker.
Yeah, this is a really good job by Trooper Price. Braden Graham has time right here. He's looking down the middle of the field for Max Mosey, and then Trooper Price just reads his eyes, gets a deep drop, breaks on the football. Almost had a pick for Colgate.
Brave pass for Braden Graham, and fortunate there to avoid the first turnover of this game. 2nd and 10 as JoJo Williams subs in. This freshman is fun to watch. They list him at 5'7".
He's explosive. He can squat the house too.
He gets the carry, following his big blockers outside, but nowhere to go. No gain on the play. He gets tripped up late there. Dane Piccarello has seemingly made every tackle on this drive for Colgate.
Yeah, he's got a nose for the football, Dane does, and he just reads things so well and is able to scrape down the line of scrimmage and avoid those offensive linemen trying to get him.
3rd and 10.
Colgate head coach Kurt Fitzpatrick says the Patriot League has been a chess match all season long. Both teams making changes at half. Let's see who's got the advantage on 3rd and 10. Graham with time finds his receiver, Lincoln Fisher, trying to dance through tackles, and he's right at the line to gain. At the Colgate 25, it'll depend on the spot. It's a first down for Holy Cross. 10-yard pickup on 3rd and long.
This is a great play call. It's great execution. Colgate's coming with the blitz. Graham just backs up, sets his feet. He knows who he's going to. With the blitz, it's a quick cross. Lincoln Fisher, that's your hot receiver. You don't have to wait. You don't need time to throw it. He leads Fisher, who can then use his momentum going forward and his speed to pick up that first down.
Fringe red zone for Holy Cross and a flag down.
False start. Offense. Number 4. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Second time today a Holy Cross receiver has been called for a false start. This time it's Kaysen.
Yeah, that one hurts. Going back to that conversion on 3rd down, I love that Braden Graham threw the ball low, too. When you have a receiver coming across like that, when you throw it high, it makes it very difficult as a catch, and you're exposing your body to really get tattooed. When you can throw it low in front of him, he never has to break stride, and he feels more protected catching the football.
Graham's been a great game manager the last 2 weeks. Pooney got pushed forward for a pickup of about 3 yards. That'll bring up 2nd down and long. Graham missed a shot play or 2 in play action last week at Richmond. He's not quite the dual threat quarterback that we've seen here at Holy Cross before, but navigates the pocket well, and Dan Curran and Andrew Dresner, the offensive play caller, believe that they can start to extend that menu, as Kurt Fitzpatrick likes to say, and he's been getting more confident going downfield in this game.
Yeah, certainly. And understanding why they're running plays, and that's one thing Andrew Dresner said this week, that he understands the why.
Graham's going to go back on the ground here. A little hop by Pooney outside, and he's back to the original line of scrimmage. That'll bring up 3rd down and 10 after Justin Toller makes the tackle.
Back to the original line.
And they're in field goal range right now. Brian Robat says from the 25-yard line, we really have confidence in Louis Palenzuela. So right here, you figure you're in an area where you can get 3 if you don't take a sack. But obviously, you'd like that first down and keep this going. You want 7.
Colgate showing pressure. Offsides at the snap, free play. Batted around and intercepted. Brought down by Reese Allen. But this is, in all likelihood, offsides on Colgate. Can't blame Graham for taking a shot there, and it almost worked.
It really did. Blake Youngblood almost hauls this one in. The kids will understand. He's giving it that 6'7" juggling mode.
No.
My youngest, I got to use that for my youngest.
Oh, no.
He loves that.
Offside. Defense. Number 34. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Here it is. The blitz is coming. They
injury,
know, Graham
defensive
knows
player.
that they jump. And again, this is a kid who's playing like an experienced 2-3 year starter, even though it's his second start and he's only a sophomore. To recognize, okay, I got a free play here. I'm going up top with it. He knew he was going to take a hit. He steps into the throw, takes a hit, puts it up there, and gave it a shot to Youngblood, and Youngblood almost hauled that in.
Colgate player down on the field will step aside. Holy Cross up 14-10 here in the 3rd.
Kids grow up fast, but with the money you earn from your PenFed checking and savings accounts, you can be there to support them through every stage of life.
I got it.
PenFed's got great rates for everyone.
The Patriot League on ESPN is on Instagram. Championship moments, amazing highlights, behind-the-scenes coverage, and features on the best and brightest student athletes in the NCAA. Follow us at Patriot League today.
The Patriot League is dedicated to the development of the student athlete through excellence in athletic competition, challenging academics, personal growth, and contributions within their communities. The Patriot League places among the NCAA leaders in graduation rates annually, with graduates moving on to serve in all facets of society by using their talents and voices for positive change. We are today's scholar athletes. We are tomorrow's leaders. We are the Patriot League.
At PenFed Credit Union, we help our members make the most of their personal finances so they can make the most of their dreams.
PenFed's got great rates for everyone.
Back here at Holy Cross, Justin Toller, cornerback for Colgate, slow to get off the field. Helped by the athletic training staff for the Raiders. And Colgate, after an offsides penalty, facing 3rd down and 5 here, backed up inside its own red zone. Holy Cross moving the ball efficiently today with sophomore quarterback Braden Graham. And the Crusaders have looked very strong on the money down, 3 for 6 in this game. Graham got away with a brave pass over the middle earlier in this drive, but protecting the football well and a chance to put Holy Cross up 2 scores on this drive. Clairvaux, the lead back, joining Graham. On 3rd and 5, it's Graham throwing on the move. Ty Curran with the grab inside the 10 and pushed out at the 7. That's enough for a 1st down.
This is great. They got everyone on the right side of the formation. All the receivers, the tight end, the running back. They just roll Graham. Ty Curran gives it that little boomerang route. And they get the other 2 guys, receivers, running. So they kind of drag the defensive backs with them. Beautiful play.
Curran's 3rd catch of the game, one of his best afternoons of the season.
Yeah, it's getting your playmakers the ball in space and let them do something with it after the catch.
Fisher already with a touchdown grab in this game. Brought the motion pre-snap, and that opened a little lane for Jaden Clairvaux. Call it a gain of 2 on 1st down and goal. Major momentum shifting drive here if Holy Cross can cash it in.
Oh yeah, you go up 2 scores in this type of game, that's a lot.
Gains 2.
That is a lot.
Second and goal from the 6.
Colgate has had the time of possession advantage. Much of that gobbled up in the first half. Holy Cross controlling the clock and the football here in the second. This is play number 10 on this drive. Second and goal. Graham surveying to the end zone. Touchdown, Lincoln Fisher. Fisher back in the end zone for the second time today. Holy Cross has a 2-score lead over Colgate.
Passes complete for 6 yards from Braden Graham.
Well, Braden Graham has found his favorite receiver, certainly in the red zone when they're in tight. It's Lincoln Fisher. He runs a little mesh route with Ty Curran, and then Fisher bends it back towards the goalpost in the back of the end zone. Curran's underneath. He draws the defense's eyes, and Fisher gets a step on the defender, and Braden Graham's seeing it the whole way, throws a nice ball.
Third touchdown of Lincoln Fisher's freshman season, all at home here at Fitton Field. It's an 11-point lead for the Crusaders with 8:26 to go in the third.
Lincoln Fisher's a quarterback that had some Power 5 teams talking to him, too, coming out of high school. And you can see why, because he's a big body. He's got great hands, great instincts, strong hands, goes up and gets the football.
Second TD pass in Braden Graham's career, both here this afternoon. And we've got something cooking with these underclassmen on the Holy Cross offense. Let's quickly check in downstairs with Alexandra DeCapua.
Guys, Sean Woods for Holy Cross earlier in the first half went down, and I saw him go into the injury tent. He was in there for quite a while. He came out on crutches, but he looked up and told his family, "I'm all right, guys." And on the other side of the ball for Colgate, Justin Toller, he's still in the injury tent right now. They just dropped the fold, so he might be in there a while, but I'll update you with what I see more, guys.
Alex, thanks so much for the update. All our best to Sean Woods, junior center, starter at the beginning of this game, replaced by Liam Lynch, who moved over from the left guard spot. Holy Cross is making the most of their offensive line woes this season. They have been taxed time and again. They've gone deep into the depth chart, and they have learned how to replace options when they go down, Kev.
Yeah, they certainly have. It's a next man up mentality. And that's unfortunately, football is that kind of violent game where you're going to lose guys.
That's an exceptional kickoff by Owen Saraceno. Just snuck it inside the pylon for a touchback, and Colgate has tried that a couple times against Elijah Kaysen. For the Crusaders, this one works.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Just snuck it in. Just snuck it inside the pylon.
Saraceno making a difference. Freshman kicker from Leesburg, Virginia, back in his home state last year, facing off against Richmond. Boy, what a momentum-shifting weekend that was for Holy Cross. Stan Curran was talking so much about the positivity of his team. We just need a bye week. We need to get healthy. We need to build some momentum. Few thought they could do it on the road against a very good Richmond Spiders team, and they are carrying that momentum here at home, up 21-10. Colgate looking for an answer now. On play action, Sterney too far out in front of his intended receiver. Good coverage in the middle by Tommy Bestpitch.
Yeah, Tommy Bestpitch had missed the Richmond game, and all the coaches were so excited about having him back because he is another coach on the field. They said, and Brian Vaganic, defensive coordinator, said, Tommy Bestpitch gets everyone lined up. We will never be in the wrong position defensively, every position, by the way, when Tommy Bestpitch is on the field. He's that good.
Filling a safety role left by Jake Jarmalowicz last season. He has really thrived under Cam Jones's leadership. Sterney has to sidestep the rush and nearly throws a pick. Oh boy, Carlo Crucetti was in the backfield on Zaribo, nearly on the receiving end.
The pressure, this is what pressure does. You're going to force the quarterback here, Sterney, to throw it earlier than he'd like to. Their tight end's not around, and Chisholm on Zaribo almost gets the big pick for the Crusaders.
Chiz has had a couple big plays in this game, and now Fitton Field comes to life. Critical third down for Colgate, just 3 for 7 on third down today. This one's 3rd down and 10. Sterney feels the heat, dumps it. Where's the flag?
Yeah, that's what Holy Cross is saying. Joseph Townsend's the guy who got in there.
Beanbag came out from our referee, Alex Randolph.
Number 15, ball placed at the spot of the foul, lost it down, 4th down.
So the correct call for intentional grounding, I think he grabbed at his flag and pulled the beanbag instead.
Look at Joseph Townsend coming here on the stunt. He gets right up there, gets right on Sterney's hip, dragging him down, forcing that intentional grounding. A huge series for this Holy Cross defense.
Townsend was the David Award winner last year, Kev, top defensive lineman, and they look like a whole new unit here today. They're playing with such swagger.
They certainly are, and they should get great field position coming out of this, too. Colgate punting from their own end zone.
Let's see if Holy Cross brings the heat. Fontenot kicking from his own end zone. Pressure right up the middle. Dew couldn't get there. Mosey fields it on the Colgate side of the 50, dancing through tacklers, reversing course now inside the 30, now the 20. Mosey breaks free! Touchdown, Holy Cross! A 46-yard punt return touchdown, first score of the season for Max Mosey.
Well, one of their early punts, I started to say what they do, Colgate, is they use 3 offensive linemen in the back there as the shield. And so what happens is you're going to protect the punter well, but it's going to make it a lot harder when it comes time to tackle guys. Once Max Mosey spins through the first wash there and he's running, you see these offensive linemen, that's not their bread and butter to track down a punt returner. Max Mosey takes it to the house. Huge, huge momentum.
Palenzuela makes it 28-10, Holy Cross. What a statement by a Crusader team just 1-6 this season, victimized by close games throughout the early stretch of the schedule. And today, these look like the Crusaders of old with Max Mosey running one to the house. Cross student athletes over the last 6 decades, from simple to complex sports injuries to joint replacement long after athletic careers end. Worcester County Orthopedics keep the Crusaders and all of Worcester moving. Visit worcesterortho.com to make your appointment today. Max Mosey just took one to the house, Kev. Holy Cross up 28-10.
Look at, there's Max Mosey right there. You know, he was born the day the Patriots played the Carolina Panthers in the Super Bowl. He said his family hates the Patriots. They hate Tom Brady. His favorite team growing up, even though he's from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
You're airing him out in front of a lot of Patriot fans.
The Carolina Panthers are his favorite team, I'm telling you. But everyone from his family is just going to be loving this highlight. Look at him. Just the vision and how strong he is, too. He's a guy that really has gotten after it in the weight room. His 4 years here. Came here as a quarterback and switched to wide receiver.
He was so due for a score. It comes in front of the home fans at Fitton Field, and he's had a good record against Colgate the last 2 seasons as Sawyer gives a little breathing room to Colgate. You look back at last year's road trip to Hamilton, New York. How about Max Mosey? Completed a 21-yard pass, scored a rushing touchdown, and caught 2 passes. He was a do-it-all piece last year. He's just been crying out for more opportunities this year.
Yeah, he certainly has, and this coaching staff is always trying to find ways to get the ball to Max Mosey. He's a playmaker. It's complementary football at its best. You're seeing it right here with Holy Cross, with the defense making stops, the special teams making plays, the offense moving the football and moving it on the ground and taking up some chunks of time and yardage and giving that defense a rest. And the defense just pinning their ears back right now. They're like a pack of wild dogs going after steak.
So after the 0-6 start for Holy Cross, some wondered if the season was already gone. But when you take a look at the Patriot League standings, you see at 1-1 and now a big lead against Colgate. Still some tough games on the schedule ahead for Holy Cross, including Lafayette and Lehigh, but there's still a lot left to play for here in the middle of the pack.
That was one of the things during the bye week that the coaches were stressing to these players is that, listen, all of our goals are still in front of us. We still have all these Patriot League games left. If we run the table, we will have our goals. We will be where we want to be, which is defending that Patriot League title. Again, like you said, it'll be tough because Lehigh is a phenomenal team, top 10 team. Lafayette was leading Oregon State last weekend at the half. You know, I mean, these are really good teams. But you're looking at a Holy Cross team right now that is building momentum and getting more and more confident with each week.
We have a Colgate player down and injured receiving medical attention, so we'll have to step aside here. Holy Cross up 28-10 with 7:43 to go in the third.
Operations to Brewster, Ambulance 155, Brewster Paramedic 57 and FS1. Please respond to 185 Main Street for possible rollover. You're reporting car on its route, person not breathing with entrapment.
Hockey is here. Seymour score! DeBoer score! Up across for Akrol. Akrol!
Leadership and excellence, in competition, in the classroom, in the community. For decades, Crusader Athletics has focused on our topmost commitment, elevating every student athlete, to reach for more, to grow more, to achieve more. Help us to continue to strengthen minds, build character, and celebrate together as one Crusader nation. Because when we commit together, we win together. Join us, Crusaders together.
Welcome back to Fitton Field here in Worcester. Paramedics now on the field attending to a Colgate player. We have been unable to identify the player, so we will not speculate at this time who this is. We will try to give you confirmation as it becomes available. We're now being told in our headsets it's Jariah Sawyer, the wide receiver and kick returner for Colgate. A hush has fallen over Fitton Field. This was after a punt return touchdown for Holy Cross, and here's Sawyer on the return, Kev.
It might have been, yeah, you can't really tell there. Your hope is that it's lower body and not anything with the head. I mean, he's moving, which is good, right after the hit.
Stretcher is out on the field. Kurt Fitzpatrick, head coach, out there taking a close look as well, along with the Holy Cross athletic training staff.
See the knee. I don't know, maybe a knee or an ankle.
He got rolled up at the end there, and it looked like he was holding his helmet. So hard to tell exactly the situation down on the field, but both teams showing a lot of respect, have taken a knee. Fans quietly waiting here in what's been a great up and down football game. First half was electric offensively for both teams. Holy Cross has now taken control of this game after the Max Mosey punt return touchdown from 46 yards out. And Sawyer is being lifted onto the stretcher.
Yeah, he's got a brace on his neck. You just hope for the best for that young man. The whole Colgate team's coming over to see him right now.
They faced some injury adversity already this season, losing the heart and soul of their team. The outstanding record-setting wide receiver Trayvon Saunders. This one, a similarly serious situation for Jariah Sawyer. It's a lot to overcome over the course of a game, Kev. Already trailing by 18, now gathering around their fallen teammate.
Well, this one, Juice, is just so emotional too. When you're talking about the head and the neck, and you see your teammate and your friend, and these guys go through so much together. There's Trayvon Saunders, who broke his ankle earlier in the season, but you see someone in a neck brace and on a stretcher, it shakes you. That rattles you.
Let's step aside one last time as Jariah Sawyer is taken off the field here in Worcester. Holy Cross, the homestanding Crusaders have a 28-10 lead over Colgate. The Raiders trying to regroup after watching their receiver and kick returner Jariah Sawyer stretchered off the field. And Jake Sterney has a tough assignment now, down 18 points, losing one of his weapons outside. His team just trying to catch their breath after gathering around and showing their support. Now he's got to lead a drive from inside his own 20. On 1st and 10, Adam Dew straight in the backfield, leveled a hit. Completed pass. Sterney stood in there and delivered a bullet to Reed Swanson. Now a late flag from the secondary as Sterney is slow to get up.
Sterney got popped from Adam Dew. Adam Dew came on the blitz untouched from the blind side. Sterney threw a dart and he just got leveled. And that's one that just kind of takes your breath away.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense, number 21, 15-yard penalty, add to the end of the play, automatic, first down.
Rare mistake there by Cam Santee at linebacker, gifting 15 yards.
Yeah, there's the hit right there, and then let's see at the end of this one.
I didn't call it, Coach.
Yeah, that's not. I honestly, when they threw the flag that late, I'm like, they're calling this because they didn't throw it right away on the hit on the quarterback.
I like how Alex Randolph said that I didn't call it. He's washing his hands of it.
He absolved himself of blame. Yeah, that was not unnecessary roughness.
After the 15-yarder, Colgate in Holy Cross territory. Shaben, no gain. Let's check in with Alex DeCapua downstairs.
Guys, I've got some pretty good news on Jariah Sawyer. So he took a knee to the neck, but he can move everything, and they just put the neck brace on him for precaution. So they're checking him out back there, but so far so good. It shouldn't be anything too bad.
All right, thanks for the update, Alex. We appreciate that. Colgate moving the football now without Sawyer in the mix. On 2nd down and 9 at the Holy Cross 45. Sterney lofts it over the middle.
Passes complete over the middle to Cam Phillips.
That was Cam Phillips. Just subbed in, making his first catch of the season.
Crowley and Dew in on the tackle. So again, when you have two linebackers that can cover and can run like Lathan Crowley and Adam Dew, you have a really good defense, and you have a lot of things you can do. Again, Adam Dew was a safety. Brian Vaganic, defensive coordinator, says he sees things like a safety.
3rd and short for Colgate, a must pick up. Shaben's got it. Spun off a tackle, pushing his way inside the 25, and finally stopped at the 23. Big gain on 3rd down. Colin Reynolds finally dropped him.
Yeah, it's a good job by the offensive line. They're running power, and they get the hole for Shaben, and then he does the rest. Yards after contact. He's just taking people on a Nantucket sleigh ride there.
Red zone extended now for Colgate. Trying to land a counterpunch as Holy Cross's offense has really burst to life this afternoon. Holy Cross has scored 2 touchdowns here in the 3rd. Colgate looking to match. Crusaders showing pressure right up the middle with Santee. Sterney, plenty of time. High pass, hauled in by Fogler, and he's got the first down. Crowley got him.
And Sterney's showing you the poise here too, and just the patience of a veteran quarterback. Is the Holy Cross defensive line gets the rush there, and you'll see the hands go up. Well, early in the rush, the defensive line had their hands up and jumped up in the air. And Sterney just kind of waits and then finds that window and delivers.
This is such an impressive drive led by Sterney. He's taken hits, leading his team through the adversity after Sawyer went off in a stretcher. From the red zone, 1st and 10, spins it out on the fingertips of Reed Swanson. Cam Jones bodied him out.
Well,
5-yard gain on 1st down, Kev.
Yeah, that's the first time we've called Swanson's name, the 6'6 junior, and he's a big weapon, but you got to credit Cam Jones in what he's been able to do to blanket him during this game, because Swanson's a guy that they'll throw those 50-50 balls up to with a lot of confidence that he's going to come down with the ball. And this would be one of those areas of the field. Just look for like a back of the end zone fade and let Swanson go up for it.
4 wide for Sterney. Dew showing the blitz off the edge. Here he comes. Sterney in trouble. Nobody there. Incomplete. And Adam Dew is a one-man wrecking crew.
He is unbelievable right now. He is literally just ruining every play. And Brian Vaganic right now has just got to be smiling, dialing up these blitzes with Santee and Dew and Crissetti and these guys that can get in there so quick. They're so explosive. Adam Dew has become a huge weapon for this defense. And he really changes this defense too, and what they can do and how they can pressure.
3rd and 5 inside the 10. Sterney launches. What a catch! Through the tackle. Touchdown, Colgate. It's Reed Swanson on a must-have drive. Colgate narrowing this lead for Holy Cross.
This is a great throw and a great catch. Holy Cross dropped 7 into coverage here. You know, they'd been coming with the aggressiveness and the blitzing, and now they try to drop 7 into coverage and make Colgate find a small little window, and Sterney found that window and hit Swanson, who took a wicked shot from Santee and held on to the ball.
After Trayvon Saunders' injury against Richmond, Swanson made a 33-yard catch on the very next play as this extra point is missed. That really set a tone and a new belief for Colgate. And similarly here, on the drive where Sawyer goes down with an injury, Swanson cashes in.
Look at Sterney. That's a good ball. Over Crowley, and then drops it down in the back of the end zone. Very tight window he had. Really tight window. And he fit it right in there. And Swanson with some tremendous concentration too, because there was a lot of traffic around him.
Excellent drive by Sterney, but the kicking game for Luke Vogler has become a question mark. He's just 1 for 2 today. He missed a 24-yarder, and now an empty extra point keeps it a 12-point lead for Holy Cross. That could come up costly later.
And again, now let's see what happens on the return, because they've been trying to kick away from the return men for Holy Cross twice. They've kicked it out of bounds now. Holy Cross with a lot of confidence that they can return one of these kickoffs for a touchdown. They returned a punt for a touchdown. They think they can do the same here on a kickoff.
Swanson getting his flowers on the sideline. Deep driving kick over the head of Elijah Kaysen. Check the box for Colgate there. Holy Cross will start at the 25-yard line. They've already returned one on a punt today, courtesy of Max Mosey. All right, Kev, a reset here with 3:56 to go. Holy Cross up by 12. How can they keep this momentum going offensively?
One way is by running the football effectively, putting it on that offensive line, the backs of guys like Cam Nolan, letting them continue to open holes for the running backs who are running hard, running like dump trucks going downhill. And if they can have one of those ball control drives where they just take the clock out, wear that clock down, that'll change it.
Clairvaux can't do it on first down. He loses 3 yards. Great push at the line by Colgate. Maglicano got the stop and a tackle for loss.
These linebackers are really active for Colgate, and they're really good at just diagnosing plays, and he just shoots through the gap there and is right there to meet Clairvaux in the backfield.
Defensive coordinator Trevor Warner said in spring ball he structured the defense around the strengths. Maglicano is certainly one of them at linebacker.
They have a good group of linebackers and corners.
There's the pressure off the edge. Dominic Campanile just checked in, run first quarterback, and that was a good time for it. Picks up about 3 yards. That brings up 3rd down and 9.
Yeah, it's a quarterback draw call, and they're trying to use that aggressiveness against Colgate, hoping that they would get a rush upfield, and then Campanile could slip right behind him.
Campanile, a great change of pace. Freshman from Fair Lawn, New Jersey. Now we go back to the Murfreesboro, Tennessee sophomore Braden Graham. He's completed better than 70% of his throws today. Needs a big one on 3rd down. Throws it to Kaysen, who backpedals and lost yardage. Not the play Holy Cross needed, well short of the sticks. That brings up 4th down and a punt.
Yeah, Zach Jones, the linebacker for Colgate, on the stop and on the coverage. Really good job, because Kaysen is so quick. And this is just a really good job by Jones of making an open field tackle, getting his arms on him and holding there.
Huge 3 and out for the Colgate defense. After a touchdown drive, Ethan Moss out to punt for Holy Cross. Gets it away clean. Fair catch called for at the 42. That was Brady Hutchison, and now Colgate gets an opportunity with 1:56 to go here in the 3rd. And Kev, it feels like the Raiders, after watching Sawyer go down, rallying around their fallen wide receiver, they have finally found some answers offensively to get back in this game.
Yeah, they certainly have. That was a great drive, and especially coming on the heels of an emotional scene like that, seeing your teammate go off the field on a stretcher and in a neck brace. And they definitely did use that. We're going to use that emotion in a positive way, and drove down the field. So here again, it comes that chess match. Holy Cross has been dialing up a lot of pressure on Jake Sterney. Can they get to him again? Can they force some early throws, maybe a mistake?
Nobody in the backfield to protect Sterney. 5 wide on 1st and 10. Pocket holds, and what a pass. threaded the needle right over the middle to Hutchison, who was draped by Cam Santee. Pickup of 6.
And it's a perfect call because the middle of the field is open. You have man coverage. And so all you need is your receiver to just get a little crease and get that inside leverage. And that's exactly what they got right there with Hutchinson. Sterney delivers a strike.
Sun shining down, Colgate near midfield on 2nd and medium. Hutchison again, steady diet as he spins inside for another first down.
And again, these are those quick throws that Colgate likes. Sterney likes to get the ball out of his hands quick. These are timing, these are rhythm throws.
Hutchison, a multi-year starter, filled the shoes of Saunders when he went down in the Richmond game. Now leading receiver today with 5 grabs. Colgate in Holy Cross territory, 1st and 10. Sterney unloads behind Hutchison this time, incomplete. Jordan Pritchard-Sewell had the pressure, and Pritchard-Sewell has been asked to do a lot this season, Kev. Jovan George, Kevin Gillis have been injured at defensive tackle. They're working back into the mix, and Pritchard-Sewell has really answered the bell.
Yeah, he certainly has. That time they only rushed 4 guys, and Jordan Pritchard-Sewell was one of them who got through. He's so quick, he's so twitchy. He's a tough guy to block one-on-one. If you don't double team Jordan Pritchard-Sewell, he's going to get by. He's going to get to the quarterback.
Hutchison in motion on 2nd and 10. Sterney goes his way. Deflected pass in the backfield, and that just goes weakly out of play. That was chaos, courtesy of Carlo Crosetti. Another DB in the Colgate backfield.
Yeah, and Crosetti has really, as Brian Viganic said, he's really found his pass rush. He has come on in the last few weeks as an elite pass rusher when they sent him. Now, this is what I'm talking about. When you have Crosetti, you have Santee, you have Adam Dew, you have 3 linebackers that can all get to the quarterback. It really makes the pre-snap reads very difficult for a quarterback.
3rd and 10. Sterney, complete. Shaban, first down. A pass completed to the running back for 11.
That's a big completion. Big first down for Colgate. Holy Cross was coming, and again, they love these routes. Those shallow crosses underneath. It's a high percentage throw for Sterney. It's only about a 5-10 yard pass, and then you're relying on your running backs or your receivers to get some yards after the catch, and they got it right there.
Shaban's got 74 all-purpose yards today. Sterney, quick out, hard hit. Hutchison dropped it. Oh, he could feel the heat coming from Cam Jones, and Carlo Crosetti, the linebacker, was disturbing the action again.
I'm telling you, this Holy Cross defense, they have been bringing the wood all day long. They are coming at these receivers and running backs with bad intentions. Cam Jones is in man coverage, then he gets off a block and delivers the blow. And I was talking about him tackling a 260-pound quarterback last week. He sticks his nose in against anyone, and he's a hard hitter.
Colgate remembers him from last year. Interception and forced fumble in Hamilton, New York for Cam Jones. 2nd and 10 here. Sterney trying to lead back-to-back touchdown drives. Touch pass over the middle to Reed Swanson, and he's got 9.
That was excellent because now Swanson's down a little bit. Boy, Colgate's been just ravaged by injuries. It was a really good play against another blitz and against more pressure. Sterney just finding his read quickly, finding the receiver.
Colgate cannot afford injuries like this time and again to their receiving core. 3rd quarter's over. Colgate driving down 28-16 here at Holy Cross. We'll step aside. PenFed, an official credit union partner of the Patriot League. Herff Jones, proud to be the official championship jeweler of the Patriot League. And by the Patriot League. We are today's scholar athletes. We are tomorrow's leaders. We are the Patriot League. Fourth quarter, set to go here at Holy Cross. Crusaders up 28-16 at home. Reed Swanson walked off the field under his own power, visited the tent. Now he's back out. Colgate offense driving for the second drive in a row, trying to cut this to a one-score game.
All right, this is challenge time for both teams. Challenge time for the defense of Holy Cross, challenge time for the offense of Colgate.
Critical third down play here. Colgate 6 for 11 on the money down today. Sterney keeps straight ahead. First down, Colgate. Back in the Holy Cross red zone.
They're putting it on that O-line, that big offensive line for Colgate, and Sterney just play action. He's going to follow his running back, finds the seam, gets that momentum going forward. He made sure he picked up the first down. Tough quarterback, Jake Sterney is.
Sterney's doing it all today. 6 carries now for 25 yards. 3 wide in the formation on 1st and 10. Sterney throws, incomplete, and a flag. Adam Dew can't believe it. Looked like good coverage on Brady Hutchison.
Yeah, it did from up here. Let's see what they're calling here. Colin Reynolds applying pressure.
Pass interference, defense, number 38. Automatic first down.
All right, here we're going to get a look at it. Top of the screen is Adam Dew.
Yeah.
A little grab there. The left hand had the grab, then the right hand on the shoulder. I think it was the right hand on the shoulder that got it.
Tried to hide it, but the official on the far side.
All right, let's see what kind of defense Holy Cross can dial up, and what is Colgate going to go to here?
1st and 10 for the Raiders. Sterney in the pistol. Shaben takes the handoff, hops through a tackle, bullies his way through another, and he's got the first down inside the 5. Colgate's knocking on the door.
He is such a tough running back.
Yeah.
What a tough kid he is. Never goes down on first contact. He runs through an arm tackle, runs through a shoulder, runs through another tackle, now another tackle. I mean, you need like 7 guys to bring him down.
It's hard to make a play today unless Adam Dew is there for Holy Cross.
That's true.
Unbelievable afternoon. Colgate trying to cut down this Crusader 12-point lead. 1st and goal. Sterney throws, deflected, incomplete. Great reach by Eli Thompson.
Wow, that is some good coverage. Thompson right in the hip pocket of the receiver, and he gets the hand up at the end. Take a look here. Thompson just gets that hand in at the end. Beautiful defense.
Clutch play for the junior from Rome, Georgia. One of 3 Crusaders to pick off Jake Sterney last year. Officials step in. 13:30 to go in the 4th. Colgate down 12. 2nd and goal at the 4. Hutchison runs out wide. Shaben, nowhere to go up the middle.
Adam Dew had him wrapped up. He was dragging him backwards. And some of the big fellas like Bryce Stevenson up front. When Stevenson gets his paws on you, you're not going anywhere. That's a great job.
And look who's there on the backside.
Oh, yeah. It's
Adam Dew.
Adam Dew. Sam Boyer, another one of the linebackers for Holy Cross, did a great job there at the point of attack. Boyer's got the good cowboy collar going. He's an old school linebacker.
Biggest third down of the game. 3rd and goal at the 4 for Colgate. Sterney rolls the pocket, throws, incomplete. Missed his target at the pylon, Matt Fogler. Now a big decision for Colgate head coach Kurt Fitzpatrick.
12 points. You get a field goal. You're down 9, so you still need 2 scores. So It might, let's see, it might make it easier to go for this.
Kurt Fitzpatrick is a gambler. He said, maybe I've gone to it on 4th down a few too many times. But this time it's a must-have. Down 12 in the 4th. 4th and goal from the 4. Sterney feels the heat. On the move, he tucks it and scores! Jake Sterney takes a broken play into the end zone. Colgate creeping back at Holy Cross.
Well, this is the experience, right? There's no substitute for experience. Jake Sterney doesn't get rattled here. He's got pressure from Colin Reynolds. He gets to the outside. He's still looking down the field, but he makes the decision pretty early when he sees the back of the Holy Cross defenders, because some of the guys are looking at the receivers behind him. He can take off and run that, and then when they turn around, by the time they turn around, Sterney's got himself across the goal line and got 6 for the Raiders.
Second touchdown today for Sterney. Extra point good from Vogler after missing earlier. Holy Cross lead down to 5.
Give you a timeout.
Holy Cross led by 18 in the second half, but Colgate has cashed in 2 long touchdown drives back-to-back, courtesy of Jake Sterney, the quarterback who's taken command. Visit PatriotLeagueStore.com for Patriot League Championship apparel and merchandise from your favorite Patriot League school. 14-play, 58-yard scoring drive. Jake Sterney has led back-to-back scores, sandwiching a Holy Cross 3-and-out, and while the Crusader offense is sputtering, Colgate has found new life. Down 18 after the Max Mosey punt return touchdown, Colgate refuses to quit, Kev.
No, they certainly have a ton of fight in them, and you got to be impressed with what they've done, and they've dealt with some injuries here in this game and some emotional swings. Holy Cross could use a big return here.
Colgate has lost 2 more wide receivers in the second half. Kaysen, one of the wideouts for Holy Cross, galloping from his own 5-yard line and found a little space out to the Holy Cross 30. 26-yard return for Kaysen, and now the pressure switches to Braden Graham. He found a lot of pace and tempo in his offense, especially early in the third quarter, but now as the game gets tighter, the sophomore needs to dig deeper in his skill set.
Yeah, he certainly does. You look at some of the rushing numbers, and Jaden Clairvaux's averaging a little over 5.5 yards a carry. Nioti Pooney's averaging 4 yards a carry. I think what Holy Cross would love to see is those two guys getting some 4 and 5 yard gains, especially on first and second down.
On first down, it's Clairvaux cutting up against the grain and picked up 6. There's exactly the type of play you were looking for, 6 more.
Yeah, now this opens up things a little bit more for what you can do playbook-wise. It takes pressure off of your quarterback, Braden Graham, and it also makes the play action so much more effective. Clairvaux is just a leader, and he is a guy that just attacks every practice. He attacks every carry in the game.
12 carries for 70 yards today. Quick out. Oh, into traffic, nearly intercepted.
Wow.
Lincoln Fisher was being leaned on by Tymir Wynn.
Yeah, it was thrown a little bit behind Fisher, and Wynn almost got that. That was a little wrestling match for the ball. They're trying to hit Fisher on just that quick in look. Little look-in route just behind him. So now you have a huge 3rd down and 4.
Holy Cross went 3 and out last time down, trying to avoid another quick trip. Mosey to Graham's right. It goes left, and it's Fisher through traffic. He got the grab and the first down. Boy, this freshman is blossoming right before our eyes.
He's getting a lot of confidence. He and Graham are finding their rhythm. And Holy Cross and Andrew Dresner, the offensive coordinator, is finding a new weapon for him. And that Lincoln Fisher just using that size, quick slant, high percentage throw, and it's a good read too by Braden Graham. One of the things the coaches said is Graham does a really good job of reading the defense.
Fisher now the leading receiver today, 4 catches for 48 yards. They'll reset the play clock with 11:18 to go. Holy Cross clinging to a 5-point lead. A nice long time-consuming drive here would really build the confidence for Braden Graham. Handoff goes to Pooney. Pooney's got 4.
Yeah, and it's a good job by the offensive line. It's getting that first strike if you're on the Holy Cross offensive line. And I was watching Cam Nolan on that play, and he climbed to the linebacker to get a good block on the linebacker.
Big body in there to protect. It's Nathan Schillinger. Pooney stretching it. Gets through. Down at the 31-yard line in Colgate territory. Trooper Price made the touchdown-saving tackle after Pooney ripped off 17 yards.
Well, the pass game coordinator, Matt Schell, said if we can get Pooney out in space, he will make the first man miss always, whether he runs around him or runs through him. One way or another, he's going to get by that first defender. And there's Pooney cutting it back, runs through the arm tackle. Another big gainer for the Crusaders.
Pooney just keeps adding to his own toolkit, grabbing the opportunities when offered. Now Clairvaux, the lead back, hustling ahead and moves the pile again. Big cheer went up from the Holy Cross sideline. They love those tone-setting 4, 5, 6-yard chunks on first down. Joe Kelly with the stop this time.
Yeah, this is just, you're trying to impose your will on the other team, and you're trying to break the other team's spirit, and the way you do that is by a punishing ground attack. And that's why that Holy Cross sideline's so into it when they see these 4 and 5 yard runs.
Second and 6. Graham taking his time. Gets it out quick and dropped by Curran. Took his eyes off the ball.
Yeah, he was looking at where he was going to go with it before he hauled it in.
But a good heads-up play by Braden Graham. Pressure was coming free off the edge again.
That one had a shot. That had a shot to go for maybe a first down. But yeah, Graham certainly felt that pressure coming because he could see it coming from his right, even though he's looking left to throw that.
Curran comes off the field for a critical 3rd and 6. Clairvaux in the backfield with Graham. Colgate brings 5. The throw, one-on-one. Deflected, incomplete. Max Mosey wanted PI. No flag. The conversation continues as Caleb Alexander had the good coverage.
This is the first time they've gone up top. This is the first real deep throw for Braden Graham. You can see the battling down there. Max Mosey trying to haul it in with one hand. There was certainly enough hand fighting, if they're calling the PI like they did down the other side against Holy Cross, that Holy Cross could have a case that would be it down there.
Late substitution here. Schillinger on for a 45-yard field goal from Luis Palenzuela. This to make it an 8-point lead. Palenzuela angling. Doink! No good. Colgate survives. Still a 5-point game with 9:03 to go.
Well, you see Dan Curran going out to his kicker and Matt Schell as well. That's a tough one for the Crusaders.
YouTube and LinkedIn, all under the handle @Patriot League, and follow the league on TikTok @Patriot League TV. What a comeback by Colgate here in the second half. Holy Cross went 3 and out, and then doink for Luis Palenzuela.
Game of inches, right? If that's maybe an inch more inside, it might skim off the goalpost and go through. Instead, it hits it, gets rejected, and it's still a 5-point game. A touchdown gives Colgate the lead.
With the whole Holy Cross offense sputtering, Colgate has cashed in 2 straight long touchdown drives. That's a missed connection on first down. Sterney threw it behind his intended receiver, Cam Phillips, who's been pressed into action after Reed Swanson and Jariah Sawyer have gone out with injuries. Christian Ross brought the heat that time for Holy Cross. And now, if ever, Kev, it's time for that D-line to be as disruptive as they were back in the first half.
Yeah, it certainly is. This is where, and again, they've lost 2 guys during the year, 2 starters up front, but
Dew brought the pressure off the edge. Incomplete. The throw was low in the middle of the field. Intended for Chief Montalvo. Boy, Colgate's digging deep now as Cam Jones was there in coverage.
See Christian Ross, Adam Dew coming off the edge. The throw just can't connect. But yeah, I was starting to say, you know, the Holy Cross D-line, they lost 2 of their starters early in the season, and they've been out there for a lot of plays, a lot of time today. This is time to dig deep. A gut check
Colgate 7 for 13 on third down. This is 3rd and 10 in Holy Cross territory. Sterney in trouble. He's sacked. Carlo Crosetti takes him down. Holy Cross will take the ball back.
Crosetti starts at the outside. He loops on a stunt to the inside. And you look at his speed. He just runs right by. He gets lost for a second and then just explodes on Sterney before Sterney has any time to do anything. Carlos Crosetti is all over him. Carlo is just, he has been just disruptive all game long.
3rd sack of the year for the versatile linebacker. And now Holy Cross up 5, brings the heat, and the punt gets away clean. Mosey already with a punt return touchdown in this game, fields it. That's always dangerous at the 47 in Colgate territory. Nothing to gain there for Mosey, but crisis averted. Holy Cross can take a deep breath and send the offense back out there.
Yeah, Charlie Mullally there, one of his wide receivers. Mullally underwent surgery. He's one of those starters that Holy Cross lost, and he was out there smiling with Max Mosey. Mosey was like a shortstop or a catcher smothering that ball. He just didn't want to. He wanted to make sure that they didn't lose like 10 or 15 yards of field position with that thing rolling.
He's a jack of all trades, playing with ultimate confidence. 1st and 10, handoff goes to Clairvaux. Little stiff arm, and then out muscles 5 Colgate Raiders, who finally bring him down after a gain of 2. Breakthrough game for Jaden Clairvaux. The total yards this season not exactly where he wanted. He's creeping toward 400 for the campaign, but he's been more impactful than just those yards today.
Yeah, no, he's such a great leader for this team, and a couple weeks ago he addressed the whole team before practice, and it just spoke from the heart. And he's a guy that when he talks, his teammates listen. They really respect him.
Dan Curran said earlier this year, Mosey and Clairvaux most impactful on offense. Clairvaux trying to follow his blockers, and they shepherd him forward for another 3-yard gain. That brings up 3rd down and medium, whole different play option on 3rd and 5 as opposed to 3rd and 8.
Yeah, you're right about that. Now the play action still can hold a linebacker or a safety at 3rd and 5, although they're probably thinking pass here. For Holy Cross, this is a huge drive, because this is about, can you get a couple more first downs? Do you get back into field goal range and try another field goal? If you get a touchdown, now you got a lot of breathing room.
Graham's been great on 3rd down today. It's been a struggle this season, but 5 for 10 this afternoon. On 3rd and 5, Graham hits JoJo Williams right at the sticks. Marked out at the 39, Kenny Langston with the critical tackle from safety. And this will bring up 4th down and short.
I think they go for it. It's going to be 4th and 1. It's great recognition by Braden Graham, because they're coming. It's a single high safety, so he goes off quickly to JoJo Williams, who's not covered, and then it was just a great defensive play by Langston, who came off of the guy he was covering and made a nice open field tackle.
Holy Cross going on 4th down, first time today. Big body Mason McSweeney in there for extra heft. And timeout called.
Timeout. Colgate, they're first. 30 seconds and left.
Colgate got a look at that personnel for Holy Cross and wants to talk it over with 6:05 left. Holy Cross was up 28-10. Now it's just a 5-point lead for the Crusaders. And Kev, there was a time to knock down the door and let the rest of the league know that Holy Cross is making a run in the second half of the season. Now's the time against Colgate.
Yeah, this is it right here. This is going to be, one of these plays that the whole season you're going to look back on this play and see who it goes for. Holy Cross with 128 rushing yards today. Do they keep it on the ground? Do they keep leaning on that O-line and that group of tight ends and say, hey, we need a push. We need a push. We need to get 1 yard. And then does this drive then continue and give them points? Because if it does, they'll look at this play for the rest of the year as a rallying point.
Colgate has the best 4th down defense in the Patriot League. Holy Cross looking at 4th down and 1. They've dominated on the ground today. McSweeney in there to help lead the way. Clairvaux to Graham's right. It's Clairvaux trying to slice his way forward. He won't get there. Colgate makes the stop on 4th down.
The rule in the field, that was the runner was short of the line.
That's
again.
a huge play by that Colgate
Colgate
defense. This is going strength on strength. And that Colgate defense did a phenomenal job to stop Jaden Clairvaux for no gain is extremely difficult to do. Look at that. Wow. And again, it takes the whole defense, but the first guy there at the point of attack was Magliacano. And he just took the brunt of Jaden Clairvaux and stood him up. There he is right there. He's all fired up. That looks like a linebacker. He's got the eye black smudged all over his face. He's got a Tasmanian devil look about him.
The sophomore had his defensive coordinator, Trevor Warner, all fired up on the sidelines as well. Colgate now with a chance to take the lead. 1st down and 10. Sterney lofts a pass to the sideline into the waiting hands of Chief Montalvo, not even listed on the depth chart heading into this game, but he's got a grab for the first time this season. Garrett Baldwin on the stop.
Yeah, it's crazy the depth that Colgate has had to go to at the wide receiver position. And you know what? It's a tribute to the team and to the coaching staff, too, that they have developed that kind of depth and that they can put these guys in that aren't even on the depth chart, and they're producing.
Sterney with a long look to Kurt Fitzpatrick and his crew on the sideline. This is Maldonado pressing forward. That brings up 3rd down and 2.
Boy, you know, they always talk about football being a game that's won in the trenches. First and foremost, it's won up front. And that's what we're seeing here, because now it's 3rd down and 2, 3rd and short, and it's going to be the O-line against the front 7, and it's who's going to win that battle up front.
This 4th quarter has just been one critical 3rd or 4th down conversion after another.
It's been an exciting game.
Great battle between two hungry programs in the Patriot League. 3rd down and 2 for Colgate. It's Shaban. He's got another 1st down and plenty more into the secondary. Stopped at the Holy Cross 22. Cam Jones finally corralled him.
Shaban is such an impressive player. He is such. Mark Van Egan, who was a former running back at Colgate, went on to have a great NFL career with the Oakland Raiders. He would be proud and impressed of Shaban with the way he runs, how strong he is at the point of attack, fast, fearless, physical.
Former Connecticut High School Player of the Year, 12 carries for 95 yards today, leading rusher on the field. He stays out there on 1st and 10. Sterney nearly intercepted right through the fingertips of Cam Santee. Oh boy, that could have been lights out.
The momentum swings. You just heard that Holy Cross side erupt, and then the Colgate side hold their breath here. The pressure's coming. Sterney throws it, and a great break by Cam Santee. He gets back into his drop. He looks, he sees the receiver, jumps the route, almost comes up with the interception.
His toughness, his relentlessness, infectious at this point in the game. Cam Santee, the ultimate leader, and a leader by example.
Oh, by far and away the leading tackler on this team, leads the team in tackles for a loss. You can see why.
2nd and 10 for Colgate. Here comes the pressure out of the secondary. Wide open. Shaban spins off a tackle, and he's got another 1st down.
If you're Colgate, you're just going to make a living right now out of getting the ball in Danny Shaban's hands.
For injured player on the defense.
Tommy Bestpitch made the tackle, and he went down in a heap. Clouds gathering here in Worcester. It's getting cold and windy, and we're into crunch time. 3:31 to go. Bestpitch being attended to as Colgate drives. go here at Fitton Field. Holy Cross clinging to a 28-23 lead. The lead was 18 just a few minutes ago, but Colgate has answered the bell late with long, time-consuming drives. Shaben out of the backfield, gobbling up yards like Cam Scattaboo, and Jake Sterney protecting the football, although a dropped pick just moments ago by Cam Santee for Holy Cross could have been the difference. 1st and 10, Colgate knocking on the door. Here is Shaben, never afraid of contact, and pushes forward for 4 yards.
Yeah, Shaben now with 116 yards of total offense. He's the complete package. Just a bruising, punishing runner. He can catch the ball out of the backfield. He can do it all. He is an exceptional running back.
Colgate showing tremendous fight on the road, just 2-5 this season, but this program is on the rise under a former D3 national champ, Kurt Fitzpatrick, in his first year as head coach. 2nd and 7. Sterney in trouble, dumps it down. Casamajor bullies in. Colgate takes the lead. A 9-yard touchdown pass to the running back, Brendan Casamajor, and Colgate is a 2-pointer away from going up 3.
What a big play. What a big play. But again, because Danny Shaben has been so effective, it's what makes this play go. They fake it to Shaben inside. Adam Dew, who's blitzing, tackles Shaben because the defense is collapsing on Shaben because he's been so effective. And that's why that's open in the flat.
Shaben in the backfield with Sterney on the 2-point attempt. Sterney fires, incomplete. It bounced off the shoulder pad of Montalvo. Costly for Colgate. It's a 1-point lead with 2:35 to go.
Wow. What a game. What a game. Holy Cross has got all 3 timeouts. 2:35. I mean, it's plenty of time. And that's one thing that I know they're going to be stressing down on the field there to Braden Graham, into the whole offense. Look, we have plenty of time. Don't panic. Don't let the game speed up on you. Here's Shaben. He's just a big, powerful back, and he's got speed. He's got the whole package. There's the almost interception. And then the swing it out to Shaben. Sterney just finding the guy. There's Shaben. Everyone collapses on Shaben, and Sterney's got Tommy Best pitch right in his grill, and he's able to dump it off. Just a good play. And then the 2-point conversion, unable to hang on, so we got a 1-point game. And if you're Holy Cross too, that's the other thing you're stressing. Look, we just need to get into field goal range. Yeah, we'd love to get 7, but just kind of look at this in little small chunks.
19 unanswered points for Colgate. Crusaders still with a chance to win this late. Kaysen gallops out to the 35. He slips on the Holy Cross sideline after a 27-yard return, and now Braden Graham, the sophomore quarterback, with a chance to play hero. He's been forced into a starting role. Cal Swanson still battling an injury to his upper body that affects his ability to rotate and throw. Braden Graham, you can earn this job outright now with a quality scoring drive.
Yeah, you certainly can. And you know what? This is what, and quarterbacks, and the good ones have that swagger and that moxie, and they love moments like this and drives like this, because, like, you're right, you can cement your legacy here, and I know he's welcoming this.
State Player of the Year in Tennessee at the high school level, and he throws a pick right over the middle. There is a flag. This looks like pass interference. Kenny Langston on the receiving end, but this was pretty obvious.
Yeah, Schillinger got tackled on the play. So now you're talking about 15 yards now and a first down. So again, if you're Holy Cross, it's just relax, stay with our offense.
Pass interference, defense, number 48, automatic, first down.
Schillinger's 87 comes across the formation, and then he just gets grabbed there.
Zach Jones with the hook.
Lassoes him around the waist.
Holy Cross at its own 45-yard line. Graham and the Crusaders down 1. They had a 28-10 cushion in the third quarter. Clairvaux gets the carry on first down. This has been the bread and butter today, and Clairvaux offers 2 yards this time as the clock ticks toward the 2-minute timeout.
Yeah, you want to get another play off here before the 2-minute warning, or the 2-minute timeout now they call it. I'm still stuck in the 80s, the 2-minute warning.
2nd and 8. Graham throws over the middle. Good grab by Ty Curran, who had a drop earlier, and gets credit for the first down.
This is the 2-minute timeout.
Timely catch for the sophomore from Chelmsford, Mass. And that takes us to the 2-minute timeout. Colgate 29, Holy Cross 28, but the Crusaders have the ball late, driving. Colgate with 1:58 to play. Sophomore quarterback Braden Graham has led his team across the 50 into Colgate territory with a chance to win this game late. On 1st down and 10, Jaden Clairvaux, the feature back, pushed back at the line of scrimmage, no gain. Great tackle at the line by Maglicano. Colgate's defense trying to bow up late here and hold on to that comeback victory after scoring 19 unanswered in the second half.
Yeah, it's a fine line because as an offense, you're looking to, you want to score, but you don't want to score too quickly. You want to use some clock, but you can't lose sight of the main focus, which is to score.
That's the focus right now for the underclassman quarterback. Graham on 2nd down, connects over the middle with JoJo Williams, marked down at the 40. Gain of 4 yards. That brings up 3rd down and 6 after Trooper Price made the tackle. And now whistles as Colgate has another player slow to get up. It's been a tough day for the Raiders.
Yeah, it certainly has. That was Trooper Price too, one of their standouts. But Holy Cross called the timeout, and that's good. Holy Cross, you want to make sure here. 3rd down, you got to make sure.
2 timeouts each late here with 1:10 to go. Let's take a look at the comeback for Colgate. 3 touchdown drives led by Jake Sterney. This quarterback has been a breakout star in his junior season. Strong arm, accurate downfield, and showing great command, especially when plays break down, Kev.
Yeah, and that's the poise of a quarterback, to know when to run the ball, to know when to throw it, and then in the face of pressure they are getting hit and dumping it off and getting 6.
Colgate sideline trying to bring the Thunder. Critical 3rd down and 5 for Holy Cross, down a single point late. Motion and a flag.
Yeah, this is going to be on Holy Cross. They moved early.
False start. Offense. Number 72. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Brad Blattner, the left tackle.
So now if you're the offense, if you're Holy Cross, it's 4 downs. Yeah, you're going to go with 4 down territory. So you don't have to pick up 11 on this play. You want to pick up 5 or 6 and make it a manageable 4th down.
Graham empties out the backfield. 3rd and 11. Graham incomplete over the head of Max Mosey. And now the ball game comes down to a 4th down and long for Holy Cross. Mosey shaking his head. Graham feeling the heat late.
Yep. All right, well, you got to hold the fort here. You got to give him some time to throw on 4th and 11. You're going to have to let this route develop a little bit. Holy Cross will call timeout and talk about it.
Timeout. Holy Cross, they're second. 30 seconds in length.
If offensive coordinator Andrew Dresner has something tucked away for a late game win, now is the time. Holy Cross has really struggled in close games this season, lost the first 3 games by 7 points combined. Actually lost 4 one-possession games before that 6-point win at Richmond last week. Kev, this was an 18-point game not that long ago, but Colgate has shown the fight and the resilience down the stretch, and now they need one more stop.
Yeah, you look at these 2 schools, and both of them played a similar early season schedule. Really difficult schedule. Colgate played Monmouth, top 25 team, Villanova, top 12 team, Syracuse, FBS team. Those were their first 3 games. So both teams played really, really strong competition to open the season.
4th and 11 for Holy Cross to keep the game alive. Graham throws, incomplete! Colgate knocks down the pass. Caleb Alexander in coverage, and what a comeback for the Raiders on the road.
This will be a huge springboard game for Colgate. This is a huge comeback for the Raiders. They came with the pressure. Holy Cross did a nice job of blocking it up, and the pass is just a little bit behind Elijah Kaysen. Colgate's in man coverage.
And now victory formation for Jake Sterney. Colgate has used 3 different quarterbacks this year due to injury, and Sterney has found the solution to finally beat Holy Cross for the first time since 2018. Holy Cross's offense sputtered late, scored 2 touchdowns in the 3rd, and then Colgate's defense dialed it up, forced a 3 and out, and then made a 4th and 1 stop late. And Holy Cross doinked a field goal with Luis Palenzuela. The Crusaders had their chances, but as has so often happened this season, Kev, the close games just are not going the Crusaders' way in Dan Curran's 2nd season.
Yeah, this one will be frustrating, and for Kurt Fitzpatrick, you see there the Colgate staff rather. This is one of those games that they'll point to at the end of the season and say, man, this was a springboard game for our program. This is the first-year coach and the first-year staff, and they didn't get in here till December. So, they didn't have a chance to recruit. They didn't, in the spring ball, they're trying to figure out who they have, where they're going to put people. And then you're right into the season, and Kurt Fitzpatrick's done a really good job with this Colgate program, and this will be the biggest win for him so far of his short tenure.
Colgate scores 19 unanswered points on the road in the second half to take down Holy Cross by a final score of 29-28. Holy Cross drops to 1-7 this season. Colgate improves to 3-5 and 2-2 in the Patriot League as Holy Cross dips to 1-2 in the Patriot League. Tough result this afternoon for the Crusaders at home, but congratulations to the Raiders overcoming injuries and adversity on the road to pick up their first win against the Crusaders in 7 seasons. That'll do it for our coverage this afternoon. We thank you so much for tuning in. For our broadcast team, myself, Kevin Shea, Alex DeCapua down on the field, I'm Kevin Gale reminding you of the final score. Colgate 29, Holy Cross 28. This has been a presentation of the Patriot League on ESPN. We'll see you right back here next Saturday at 1 o'clock for Holy Cross against Lafayette. Have a great weekend, everybody.